Hey YouTube! Today I'm going to teach you how to make my homemade, fresh and summery Margherita pizza. Okay, so the first ingredients that you're going to need are 3 tomatoes, and you're going to want to cut those up into small pieces so you can put them on your pizza. You're also going to need about a cup of chopped up basil. Next you'll need some fresh mozzarella cheese. And you'll also need a cup of pizza sauce. I made this one myself, but you can use any store-bought brand. Now for the dough, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, and 1 2/3 cup all-purpose flour, and 1/4 a cup of cornmeal, as well as 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and 2/3 a cup of warm water. And you also want to have some extra flour, cornmeal, and extra virgin olive oil. So the first step in making the dough is that we need to add the yeast to the warm water. And we also want to sprinkle in a little bit of white sugar because it helps to activate the yeast and then it flavors the dough too. Okay, so after the yeast is allowed to sit for about 10 minutes, it's going to get really foamy, and now we can start mixing up our dry ingredients. So first we're going to add our flour and our cornmeal, and then a little bit of salt. And I like to add a little bit of garlic powder as well, but you don't need to. So now you want to mix up your dry ingredients, and once they're mixed, you're going to want to create a well in the center, which is basically a hole in the middle that you're going to pour your wet ingredients. And once that's done, you want to pour in your yeast mixture, and you're also going to pour in your olive oil. Now slowly stir together with a wooden spoon until your dough comes together. Now as you can see, after a while the dough is going to start sticking together, and now it's time to start kneading it. So after 5 to 7 minutes of kneading, your dough should be smooth and elastic. Now we're going to roll up the dough and cut it into 2 equal pieces. Next you want a medium-sized bowl, and you want to coat the sides with olive oil, and this is going to keep the dough from sticking. You also want to coat the dough with the olive oil as well. Finally, you want to cover your bowl with plastic wrap and set it aside for 1 hour to let your dough rise. So as you can see, after an hour the dough has risen, and now it's time to make your pizza. Now if you're like me and you don't actually have a pizza pan, you can just use a regular cookie sheet and just cover it with aluminum foil and some cooking spray. So now that I've used my hands to spread the dough evenly on the cookie sheet, it's time to put it in the oven. Now if you have a pizza stone, you can skip this step, but if you're making your pizza on a cookie sheet, what you want to do is cook your dough before you add your toppings. So what I do is I put it in the oven for about 10 minutes at 375 degrees. Now while my crust cooks, I want to get together my pizza toppings. So I have tomato, basil, and fresh mozzarella. So you know your crust is ready when it's firm to the touch. So now I'm going to start adding my toppings. The first topping I'm going to add is my pizza sauce. The first ingredient I'm going to add is some shredded mozzarella. Now you can just do the fresh mozzarella if that's what you prefer, but I like doing both because I think it makes it extra cheesy and delicious. But do whatever you like. Next we're going to add our fresh mozzarella, and I cut these up into really small slices, and you just want to put it on as evenly as possible. Next I'm going to add my fresh tomato. And finally we're going to add the basil. Once all the toppings are on, the last step is to bake it at 375 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. This is a finished Margherita pizza. Now you can cut it up and enjoy.